So, how's everybody doing today? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. The Body Beat down here on this Sunday morning. 10:25 to be precise. I've already went for a bike ride today, which was awesome. Did a video on that. Go check that out if you'd like. Why not? Give you something to do. And I got about, over 3,000 videos you can go check out if you want to. That should get you through the next, lifetime. So, anyway, this live stream is just kind of sporadic. I have talked about in the past few days, this past week here, maybe doing a video or live stream or something about kind of a topic I have for discussion. But again, it's kind of sporadic. I wasn't sure if I was gonna, schedule a live stream or do something like that. I didn't know, but I figured what better time than now to go ahead and talk about these things. Two people in the house are at work, another person's chilling in his room, and I'm kind of here without any interruptions, hopefully. So, I could wait for some people to get in here, and I might chill just for a minute and wait. Like I said, it's kind of sporadic, and I don't get a lot of people anyway, but sometimes I do. So you just never know on this channel what's going to happen. So just kind of touching base on the bike ride and all that. It's beautiful out there today. It's cool. Matter of fact, when I got back in and I was kind of sitting here and just kind of messing around, I'm like, man, I'm freezing. So I plugged in my little heater. Probably can't see it, but I got a little radiator kind of heater thing, whatever they're called, little heater sitting right here. And I turned it on. I'm going to have it on for a few minutes. Just kind of warm up. And once my hands get cold, I'm cold. Kind of same thing with my feet. If my feet get cold, I'm cold. So did my bike ride without any gloves. Of course, the gloves I wear aren't really going to protect me from cold, but, they keep the wind off of you. So, my back needs to pop. Good grief. Anyhow, so yesterday, not that anybody cares, but just to kind of talk about stuff until I get ready to get going here. Yesterday we had my oldest granddaughter's kind of extended birthday here. Her birthday was a couple of days prior, but we waited till this weekend to kind of celebrate the bigger celebration. And kind of had a cookout, and she had a couple friends over and a couple family members. Of course, her sister, my youngest granddaughter, of course, was here. And we had a pretty good time, good little cookout. Everybody liked the food. I just threw some burgers and some brats on the grill. I haven't grilled out in forever. My father-in-law gave me his old grill, his old gas grill, because we got him another big, fancy flat top kind of grill. So, hey, Shiki, what's going on? How you doing? Just kind of chit-chatting for a second until I get on my little topics here. I don't know how much time you have to spend in the live chat, but it might be interesting or it might not. I don't know. So hope you all are doing good your way. So anyhow, I got one person in here. I might as well go ahead and start talking about what I'm going to talk about. And then I don't have things like categorized or anything. I don't know exactly how I'm going to touch base on the things I want to talk about exactly. It's just kind of going to be some random talking, and if you know me, I'm easy to lose focus sometimes, and I'm liable to start talking about whatever else. So anyway, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Making French toast. Yummy. I just had 3 fried eggs, some hot sauce on them, and then probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 pieces of bacon. I got to remember because I always cut my bacon in half. So try to remember how many little pieces of bacon I had. So I probably had about 4 pieces. But that was after my bike ride. I did a bike ride this morning. Don't know if you checked out the video, but did a little bike ride today and a little bit of some chit-chatting about some kind of nostalgia kind of stuff and kind of how I felt whenever I started cycling and everything. But you can go check it out if you want. If not, I fully understand. But no Christmas for you. No holiday gifts for you. You won't get anything this year. Did I get anything last year? I don't know if I got anything. Probably not. Sorry. Anyway, I'm rambling on there, Mr. Shiki. I don't know if you're going to get a workout in today, but pretty cool that you got your sandbag, and I'm glad you're getting some use out of it. So we'll go ahead and kind of touch base, start talking about kind of my topic for this whole thing. And over this past few days, I've kind of mentioned that I have something I want to talk about that just kind of ran across my mind and all that. So I figured right now is a good time to do it since, I don't have any real distractions right now. And yes, I do have my heater going. I'm freezing. After my bike ride, I got cold. So anyhow, I think like I said, I'm not organized. I don't know how I'm going to approach this, but we'll start with this. The very first thing that kind of came into my mind whenever that's made me kind of think about all this stuff. But I think it was Monday. It might have been Monday when I woke up in the morning to go to work, or it might have been Monday when I took a nap and woke up from my nap, or it was something like that. I don't remember. But like out of nowhere, it could not have been no more out of nowhere if it had been out of nowhere. But out of nowhere, a thought just like flashed into my mind. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you lifting heavy? And why are you doing this? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? And I mean that it went just like pew, that quick. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you lifting so heavy? What, are you crazy? And then instantly, after I said that in my mind, I was like, I instantly was just like, whoa, what am I talking about? What am I thinking? Where did that even come from? What's going on? I mean, it was just kind of a weird, like out of nowhere thought. Like, I mean, what, you wake up from a nap or something and you instantly just think of something like that? I mean, it just pops into your head like, what are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I doing this? So that kind of triggered kind of some thought process afterwards. And number one, I had to shut that down. I'm like, I'm doing this because it's good for me. So I kind of had to shut that down really quick, because if you don't shut that kind of talk down, that can go the wrong way, and you don't want to go back the wrong way. You want to keep going forward. And ow, oh, so I need my back popped. Anyway, so throughout the week, I just kind of was thinking about that, because that kind of hit hard. That kind of thought process. Hey, old school, how you doing? You might have to rewind about 2 minutes and just kind of see where I'm at. But I just mentioned the one thing that triggered this whole conversation we're fixing to have. And you might want to just go back like two minutes or so. But anyway, my whole thought process this week, of course, I had to push that to the side so I could get my workouts done. And like I said, I have stuff wrote down, but it's just kind of rambling and crazy stuff. Initially, probably people start working out because they think of health and fitness and all the good stuff that working out and being active and all that stuff brings along. It's health and fitness, not just for the body, but for the mind and the soul, the everything. It just it can help you in so many ways. And a lot of us that deal with a lot of things know the importance of that, and we know what it can really do. But if we're doing things in that journey that are not good for us, like some people doing drugs, PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, like some people doing that kind of stuff. Now, of course, it's all in, I guess, how much you take and all this stuff too. But let's just say, for argument's sake or non-argument's sake or whatever, that all that's bad. We're supposed to be starting this journey for health and fitness. So you start taking, you got some people out here that do drugs, and then you got some people out there, and I'm guilty of this, where you stop focusing as much on the health and fitness side, and you focus a little bit more on the let's go hard and heavy and crazy side. And there's nothing wrong with that. Lifting heavy is fine. But lifting heavy comes with a cost, comes with a price. Depending on your goals and depending on what you're going to do, you also have drugs that come into play there. But on my end, you have something that comes into play, and that is injuries. Now, I haven't injured my whole entire body from lifting, but the one thing I did injure was my shoulders. Both my shoulders. I've mentioned it quadruple millions of times. Quadruple millions? Is that a number? I don't know if that's a number. I've mentioned it a lot of times over the past few years. I hurt one shoulder at a friend's house bench pressing, and I hurt another shoulder at a friend's house bench pressing, probably because of improper, warming up and just kind of jumping under it and, hey, look what I can do. I'm an idiot. And so, you don't want to throw 300 plus pounds on a bar just to hurry up and show somebody what you can do. Make sure you warm up. But having said that, yeah, really. That's why I don't have friends anymore. I don't need them. I get hurt. But that's something that maybe triggered that thought that I had when I woke up from that nap or my sleep or whatever it was Monday-ish. And all this kind of goes together. So but let's face it. We don't just, we don't hurt our shoulders. And let's face it, our shoulders are the first things that probably go. And we'll touch on that subject that goes right along with all this. But, we don't throw our shoulders out doing 95 pounds, on the bar, or 135 pounds on the bar, or even 225 pounds on the bar. We start getting injuries once we get up above 300 pounds. As far as shoulders go, we'll just talk about shoulders. We won't bring in really back or legs or hips or anything like that with with the much heavier lifts that we do with those. But and like I said, we're supposed to be doing this for health and fitness. But how's that health and fitness whenever we're putting ourselves at risk, for those kinds of injuries? And the injuries can go anywhere from just uncomfortable, and then it might go away and never come back, or it can go for 25 years and range from my arm feels like it's being ripped off my body to it's just uncomfortable, and now I can't throw a baseball anymore, I can't throw a football anymore, I can't do any of that kind of stuff anymore that I was kind of known for, being able to throw really hard and far and fast. It goes from one extreme to the next, just depending on the person, depending on the injury. And so again, that leads me to say, why are we doing this? Well, and then we all like to say, well, you can get injured stepping out of the bed. You can get injured on your drive to work. You can get injured falling in the tub. Whatever. I mean, we realize that those are daily things that we definitely have to do every day. but we don't have to lift heavy. There's no rules, in any book that says we have to lift heavy. Lifting heavy is a personal choice, and I've always said that you don't have to lift heavy. That's our choice that we make, certain people make, to lift heavy. And we know that there are some risks that go along with it. And I'm fully aware of that. But I think this week has kind of opened my eyes to the just kind of to the whole topic, the whole thing around lifting heavy, and like, what am I doing? Well, I mean, I set these goals for myself, and I met these goals, which is great. But at the end of the day, what if I would have gotten really hurt from something? Would it still have been worth it? I mean, of course, my shoulder's screwed up, but it's from years ago. So you just got to kind of look at, what are you getting out of it? The risk versus reward thing, I guess you can say. Well, I have these goals. I met my goals. I feel good. I feel super happy with what I've done. I can die now and not leave anything on the table and feel good about it. And that's literally what I said whenever I got my very last goal that I ever got, which was a 405-pound bench. That's just, that's how I felt. Like, at this point, I'm good. Because I'll be honest, up until that point, I was concerned that I wasn't going to get it because, I didn't have this nice cage that I have now, and I didn't have anyone to spot me, and everything I was doing was very risky. So I was getting depressed and down in the dumps, and and then once I got this, and I instantly within like a week probably after getting this, I went ahead and hit my 405-pound bench. So it did feel great. It felt amazing, and it was a very emotional kind of moment for me because I had been working so hard to get there. And I felt like a year prior to doing that I probably could have done it. It's just I didn't have the help and maybe all the confidence in the world at some points. Some points I did and some points I didn't. But, anyway. So that's kind of that's staying on topic, but I'm getting a little bit kind of out there. I've learned my lesson. I won't be going over 240 on the bench ever again. When it affects the rest of my workout, it's not worth it. Shoulder's feeling much better. I'm going to wait a bit more. Yeah, I don't blame you, Old School Fitness. I mean, I think what it is with me is I had some unfinished business from when I worked out previously. And, well, I kind of say I had unfinished business, but at the same time, I didn't really have any goals back then. I didn't really set goals back then. If I did something, I did it. I just kind of worked out and just kind of lollygagged around, and I wasn't doing anything like I'm doing these days. So when I say I had unfinished business, it's kind of maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I set these goals for myself, and I wanted to make sure that I could make myself proud and get these done. And that I recommend if you feel like you've got some unfinished business with some stuff, you need to get it done because you don't want to wait too much later. I was right at 50-ish whenever I started making this little comeback. 2021, like January, February 2021. So, I was 49 and then I was going to turn 50 that year. So roughly 49, I'm making these goals and doing these things that I never thought in a million years that I'd be doing. And I've reached them all and I feel great about it. And luckily I've gotten away with no real injuries from it. And the shoulder don't count as an injury from it. It's, like I said, an old injury I've had. So, I guess my only recommendation for that is just like I said, if there's something playing in the back of your mind that you want to reach, that you want to do, you better do it, guys, because it might, you want to leave this world feeling happy, and this is part of it, accomplishing things that you want to accomplish. So, yada yada yada. Like I said, I got some stuff wrote down. It's just kind of, and this all kind of goes all together. It's all pretty much talking about the same thing. Yeah, and another thing. Let me look at some comments here. Hey, Bad Body, how you doing? Gut Brother. I'm not going over my gut weight anymore. I'm going to go way beyond. Let's go. Just speaking for myself. Still go heavy. Have at it, Cheeky. Yeah, absolutely, old school. I guess to just kind of put things out there, you're quite a bit older than us. Even me. People look at me as the old guy out here, but you got several years on me, and you're still going. So if you're comfortable with what you're doing and you feel good with what you've accomplished, and your big goal every day is maybe to just get up and keep going and keep doing that, that's great. And really, I tip my hat to you. It's people like you, your age and older and all that people like us look at, and we hope to make it to that age, number one, and we hope to keep going like a lot of you guys are going. So, which is kind of weird for me saying that. Like I said, everybody looks at me like I'm the old guy. So, and I'm saying that to somebody who's older than me. So, yeah, you're doing good, old school. Keep it up. Just speaking, baby, gut gang. Hey, without a little bit of gut, guys, I don't know where I'd be. This gut has been with me for 25 years now, and I just love it. So, you might as well love it, because it ain't going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. So, and touching on the same stuff as what we're talking about here, with working out, I think sometimes people overcomplicate things. You read a lot of comments on a lot of people's videos, not just ours that we're all kind of connected, but you go and you look at other people's videos, maybe like bodybuilder, professional bodybuilders and how they're working out, and strongmen and Olympic lifters and all these other power bodybuilders and CrossFitters and all this other stuff. And you go and you look at the comments, and of course you got your idiot comments all the time in there, and your trolls and your ignorance and all that. But you get some people that you got like your crowd of people out there that like to overcomplicate everything. And is there some science behind it? Is there some sort of rules that we're supposed to be going by? In my humble opinion, not a whole lot. Those of us that are simple guys like myself, we always say we're just picking up weight and putting it down. And technically, it's all you're doing. And as long as you do it within some sort of a safe manner, some sort of a way that you know how to control the weight, your body, what you're doing, you're eating decent, you're sleeping decent, you're living decent, there's not a whole lot of rules to it. Just enjoy and don't overcomplicate things. You got people that like to just overcomplicate everything. And it kind of ruins the fun with something that technically it's just working out. I've described working out before like this. When we're kids, let's say kids birth through 20 years old, we're kids. And in those 20 years of our lives, we're walking, running, riding bicycles, climbing trees, making forts, playing tag, playing football, basketball, baseball, running around constantly on playgrounds, swinging on swings and climbing poles and ropes and swinging on monkey bars and going for those 20 years. And then once we kind of hit adulthood, we're not really doing all that stuff because, well, now we're kind of adulthooding. And it's just different. Working out is basically just taking over for all that other stuff that we're not really doing anymore. Now, I'm not saying nobody does it. There's some of us out here that are still riding a bike or, swinging on monkey bars and what have you. But overall, the majority of people, by the time they hit, like, say, 20-ish, they're adulting. And so really working out is just basically an adult way of doing something that we did as kids, I guess you could say. The big channels overcomplicate things to create more content, period. Yeah, probably so. Probably so, old school. Hey, Danny, how you doing? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Danny, I wish you the best of luck on your journey and getting back in there. And remember, man, you just got to stay strong. You got to get all them negative feelings out. Get them out the way, and just keep going forward, man. We all got work that we got to get done before we leave this earth, and I think a lot of us, it has to revolve. It revolves around our fitness goals, and you got to get them fitness goals done and make yourself proud. That way, when your day comes, you can sign off and be happy with what you've accomplished. So it's very important, in my humble opinion, to be able to leave this world kind of on a finished note, So anyway, so we're coming to kind of the conclusion here of kind of a big change that I'm throwing in here. And Old School Fitness, well, I don't guess I can compare myself to Old School Fitness, but it's kind of gonna be on that same path that you're thinking there, kind of, sort of. But I'm tired of waking up every day sore. I'm tired of going to bed sore. Now, my back is one thing. My back has just been that way since I was a young lad, 25, going into 26 years old. My back is my back. I'm used to it. And technically, I'm used to my shoulder. But I'm tired of dealing with it. And you've noticed that, my bench press is kind of suffering a little bit over the past few months. I've kind of pulled back, and I might still be doing 365, or I might even pull a 385 out of the old hat, but they're uncomfortable. They're not comfortable. Even 315 is not comfortable anymore. So I got two different places on my arm that are bothered. One is coming down here, and I've not had really anyone look at it in many, many, many years, but I'm going to say that this through here is more soft tissue damage, because you can see where it gets inflamed. I'll get like knots. You can feel the knots, and it just it's inflamed, and you can feel them and such. And then I got another one, like, I probably can't find where it's at, and probably most of you have it around the same spot, but it's kind of in that pivot joint kind of area right there, kind of in that area. So I got this and then this, and this is one sort of pain, and then this is another sort of pain. Then we got another pain, and that's my wrist. And you all know, because I cry about it all the time anymore, I have carpal tunnel really bad in this wrist, and that's happened since I started working out again. It's really that's when it really hit. I've had a little issue, I could tell, over the years, but it never, ever, ever, ever was even close to what it is, over the last, year or two, about a year or so, I don't remember. But on top of the carpal tunnel, I believe I have some sort of maybe arthritis off in there as well. And my hand, like right now, is tingling. It's mainly these fingers here and my thumb, constantly tingling. And then going to sleep, anytime I try to go to bed, no matter what side I lay on, it falls asleep, and it's crazy. And so I guess what all this is kind of leading to is I'm changing up my workout big time. Now, it's big time because it's such a big part of everyone's regiment. It's like, one of the top lifts you're going to do. and that's bench press. As of right now, I'm not bench pressing anymore for a while. But what I am going to do, and I'm testing it out Monday, is I'm going to do shoulders. Just sitting barbell presses. You guys know I like doing sitting barbell presses. It's easier on my back. It's easier on, my form and everything. And I do them quite well. So one reason I said, well, I'll just switch over and I'll try some shoulders is, one, I want to give my arm a kind of a break. And you're probably thinking, oh, Mike, your shoulder, your arm, your shoulder, and your chest, all that's connected. Yeah, but it kind of depends on what movement you're doing as to how it affects you. So sometimes I can get away with doing an incline bench press and it don't bother me as much, but yet maybe it does and I'm just pretending it don't. And then sometimes I can do shoulder presses and it really don't affect me. So basically Monday, we're going to be trying out a routine where I'm just, instead of doing chest, I'm going to do shoulders. So we're going to do some barbell shoulder pressing. And the connection on that, in my humble opinion, is when you bench press, 90% of the effort comes from your arms and your shoulders. From the shoulder down. Like, take your arms and your shoulders off, and are you going to bench press? No. So your chest does get work, but your arms put in a lot of the work. So I'm taking out the bench press for now. We'll see what happens, and then we're going to add in some shoulder work, and the shoulders are going to still give us the movement and the workout and some strength and all that we need to keep our bench press in a good area. I'm never going to be like weak. I've always been able to bench decent. So, but at the same time, I have to get to that point in my mind where I don't care what I bench. Like, I've reached my goal. What do I care? So, anyway, but that's what this whole dream thing on Monday, whenever I woke up, like I said, if you go start this at the beginning, you'll kind of hear, but I'll kind of touch base on it. It was, I think, Monday morning when I woke up for work, or Monday afternoon when I woke up from a nap or something. I instantly just had a thought go through my mind of, why am I doing this? What is wrong with me? What am I doing? And then I had to counter that instantly with, I'm doing this because this is what I do. What am I doing? What am I thinking? So anyway, that's where all this kind of thought process is coming from. And I guess at the end of the day, to kind of, sum it up and just to kind of simplify it, it's just, I'm taking chest out for now. I don't know how long it'll last. And, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not making a living off this. And there's no sense in people going through such pains. If you're in that much pain, when you're doing a lift, you're not doing it for the health and fitness reason. You're doing it because there's some sort of something connected with that movement and what you think is working out and what's good. And we got to get away from that, because obviously it's not good for you, because it's killing you. It's hurting you. So, hey, Shiki, you gone? All right, man. Appreciate you. And Danny, I'm glad you're still here. Old school, thank you for being here. And we're all over the age of 30. We're all over the age of 40, and we're over the age of 50. So a lot of this probably, connects with a lot of us older guys. Well, like I said, I'm also at a spot where I feel comfortable where I can do this because I met my goals, and, I got that, my conscience is clear because I hit my goals. For other people that maybe not have hit their goals, this might be a tougher decision to make. But you're not going to be able to work out to your fullest if you're really that injured. And you're not going to be able to, have a daily life hardly sometimes because you're in so much pain because of doing what you're doing. So it doesn't really work out. no pun intended, working out, anyway. Anyway, so, hey, Christopher, how you doing? You missed it all, and I can't recap because there's just too much to talk about. There's too much going on. But I would love to see you go back and start from the beginning and kind of see what I'm talking about. This video is where I'm touching base on kind of what I talked about throughout this past week of some thoughts and things that I had. And so that's what this video is about. You'll enjoy it. You can go back. It's been amazing. We had strippers come through dancing and stuff. Now, we didn't have none of that, but maybe we did. You better go back and look. So, yeah, I pretty much touched on what I need to touch on. That's what she said. So, Christopher, long story short, I'll go ahead and at least tell you this if you missed it, but as of right now, I'm cutting out the chest. There's no more chest workouts for now because of my shoulder and because of my wrist. And there's no sense in continuing living through pain like that and discomfort. Not that it's just going to go away, especially my carpal tunnel. It's not just going to go away, but it'll help. Because when you're pressing, and I got, that much weight and it's pushing back on my arm like that, it's just, too much pain. So, oh no, protect the wrist and shoulder. Yeah, it's too late, but, it's too late, but I'm going to see. But if you watch my video tomorrow, you're going to be like, but Michael, you said you weren't going to do something, but I'm going to do something. So, just about, you might be right, Christopher. A bench press is really, and I talk about a lot of times our workouts, the things that we do, real world use. Like deadlifts, it's a real world use. We're having to bend over and pick things up. Squats, we're always having to squat down and do things. Now that don't mean you gotta use heavy weights, of course. I'm just talking about the movement in general. And we have other movements, shoulder movements that we do that are natural. We got to use and pick things up and move things around. So, the monkey came in and tried to steal his hat. Yeah. Yep, that's what I've talked about, Christopher, is that that's one of the most dangerous exercises you can do is a bench press. And it really serves no purpose, really. You can develop a better looking chest, but, if you got to push a car, if your car's broke down on the highway and you got to push it, you're pushing more, and then your chest gets involved, but you're pushing more arms and shoulders and even back and legs and core. Your chest plays a very little part in that. But, like I said, you deadlift, you got to pick stuff up. You squat, you're squatting down to do things and all that. So, so that's one reason that I think it's going to be easy for me to finally just cut out doing the bench press, at least for a while, and see how I feel, see what goes on. And so that's just kind of where I'm at, and that's kind of where my thought process has been all week and what I've been thinking about. And this is the video that I've been talking about wanting to make. So anyway, we got her made. That's the topics there. Just kind of stuff I had wrote down. So anyway, I appreciate everybody that dropped in here. And, maybe I helped you out with something I said to make a decision. Whether it's you need to go after those goals and push through and get them done, or maybe you see that it's time to maybe pull back a little bit and take care of yourself for the health and fitness reasons that we're supposed to do this. Now until I feel like it's time, I'm still gonna deadlift heavy. I'm not going for any more PRs with my deadlift. Let me put that out here now. I said that when I hit 500 pounds a year or whatever ago it was, a year and a half. I don't even know what it was now. When I hit my 500 pound deadlift, I said I was done. I didn't have to go up any further. If I do, that's great. If I don't, I'm good here for the rest of my life. But here lately, I have jumped up finally to 515. I'm done. I have no reason to continue furthering that lift. That don't mean I'm not going to still try to do things in the 400s. That don't mean that I might not go for 500 once a year or something. So, but as far as my squats go, my legs have a little bit more in the tank, I believe, and that's why I've continued pushing them past my 405-pound goal. I've continued pushing. So I feel like my legs have a little bit in the tank left. Now, I did get my 455 goal, and at this point I have to assess the situation and think, well, is it really needed for me to try to go up even heavier? Should I go for 500? Or should I just be content and happy that I can do what I can do? So those lifts are still being done, and I'm going to still push myself to some degree on those. But chest, done. And this is kind of what I've wanted to say for the past week. So I'm 40 minutes late for the party. Way to go, Mark's Max Muscle. You're a little late. But just talking about, I mean, I know you're probably not going to want to go back and start from the beginning, but basically in a nutshell here, I'm just talking about not doing bench press anymore, and because of my shoulder issue and my wrist issue, and it's just too much uncomfortableness, and I've already reached my goals with my bench press, and there's no reason for me to continue being uncomfortable. So for now, bench pressing is kind of on the back burner. That don't mean that I might not do some light dumbbell work or maybe 135-pound bench press at some point, but for now, I'm just kind of putting it on the back burner. So, well, Mark's Max Muscle, that's because you're already Ronnie Coleman-ish developed. You don't need it anymore. Got that Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler pads going on. Them pads. Them big old man pads. You missed the strippers and monkeys. Yeah, Mark's Max Muscle, you did miss the strippers and monkeys. Incline bench, I've been doing. Yeah, and that I agree with. I like doing the incline bench, and I talked about that kind of in this live stream, but it still was bothering me because I'm not one of those people that can just go light. For some reason, I have to push myself. So even my incline was bothering me. And dumbbells, they're hit and miss. It's not horrible, but again, I got the 100-pound dumbbells. I'm going to push them. So I think it's just something that I'm going to put off for a while. See if I can kind of calm some things down, and just kind of go from there. I'm only a little 5'7", bulked to 170. Bulked to 170. Good grief. Holy cow. On Mark's Max Muscle, you have a big man's voice. And that matters. That matters. 170. I got down to 170-ish in my early 20s. For some reason, I started dropping weight. That's whenever I guess I was starting to mature, and I was working, and we were hanging out a lot. A lot of us that worked together, we were all hanging out like all the time and constantly going and running around and doing stuff and having a good time. And then by the time that I got married in 1993, I weighed roughly about 170, maybe 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there, which is basically the equivalent of a stick figure for me. I have not been that little before that since I was like probably 10. So I've always had some meat on my bones. Haven't always had the gut. That came along after 30 years old. But yeah. Oh, 5'7". I was only 150 in my posing routines I did on my channel. Good grief. Man, that's crazy. You know, that's crazy for someone like myself who's been, you know, 220 plus, you know, for the past 30 years or 25 years or 30, whatever. It's been a long time. So it's crazy. You know, heck, I think I was 220 in school, in high school. It's just, it's crazy to see, you know, to know that, you know, there's guys out there that's that light. And that's not saying nothing bad. It's just, you know, you see these smaller guys out there all the time and you're like, man, it's so different. You know? It's like Bruce Lee. What was he, 120 soaking wet? Vitamins. Strippers and monkeys. We gotta have vitamins with the strippers and monkeys though, right? We gotta be able to keep up with them. Man. On Marks Max Muscle, I like how sometimes I get reamed in the comments. It's rough online when you speak your mind about things, and sometimes I'll fight back, and a lot of times I just ignore. All the years I wrestled, I never put muscle on. I was a terrible alcoholic, so it was my own fault. I've been over 10 years without it, and I feel better now. Oh man, that's awesome! I didn't know that. Of course, I don't know if you've ever talked about it on your channel. I don't recall, but yeah, that's great. There's, you know, alcoholics is alcoholism. It's a big thing. Gotta go, Mike. Gonna do a session or something. All right, man. Old school. I appreciate you being here. Have a good day. Thank you. No gut body belt. No gut body belt. What? No gut body belt. I feel like I need a drink after trying to decipher what that means, Christopher. No gut body belt. Well, hey Gagatron, how you doing? Nothing really to speak of right this moment. We just kind of had a conversation about my thoughts and opinions on some things and what I'm changing up on my workout and all that kind of stuff. So I won't bore you with having to go back and watch the live stream unless you want to, just for the kicks and giggles of it. But I'm cutting out chest work from my workouts, which is something I never thought I would do. But you're new to my channel, I assume, so you don't know, but I got bad shoulder problems and I got bad wrist problems, and so I've been suffering through this for a while now, and I just think it's time to not worry about chest. If you had a 7-inch below your knee, please. Oh my gosh, that's a dad joke, Marks Max Muscle. Are you a dad? I don't even know. I don't know. You never mentioned that you got kids, but that might be a dad joke right there. Oh boy, below knee sandwich. I think I've seen that movie. We won't talk about that movie. Well, Gregatron is pretty new to my channel here, and I subscribe to his channel. He works out, plus he has some action figures and stuff as well, which is pretty cool that we kind of cross paths, because I also work out and I also have action figures, and so does Marks Max Muscle, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, what's up, Rick? The action figures that I've seen from him are mostly, they look like newer ones. Gargoyles? Not really. I never got too much into gargoyles. Marx Max Muscle likes gargoyles.
Gargoyles?
Gargamel? Oh, thought we were saying Gargamel. Yeah, but you and Marx Max Muscle might connect as well, because like I said, he works out and talks bodybuilding and all kind of stuff, and plus he does have some action figures. He don't really showcases action figures. He just pops them out once in a blue moon and shows them. Blue moon? I guess the moon can be blue. So, but if you like bodybuilding content and somebody who's pretty original with that, maybe check out Marx Max Muscle. He's a pretty cool guy, way up north there in the old Canada, eh? Too old for cartoons? What? Where's my belt? I don't have a belt. I don't wear belts. I wear stretchy pants. Sometimes in a room, a man wears stretchy pants. Close enough. Yeah, I guess I've always liked cartoons. The good thing about having kids is you kind of, you have to watch a lot of cartoons. And so all through the 90s, I got to see a lot of really good cartoons from Rugrats and Doug and I don't know, whatever else, some other stuff. But then you got your more adult type cartoons like King of the Hill and Simpsons and stuff like that, your Family Guys and American Dads and all that good stuff. Yeah, you gotta always have some kind of cartoon in your life. Kind of helps out. Nowadays, I don't watch a whole lot, but every day, every morning, I spin on my bike. And I do watch a program. A lot of times, I'll have a program and I'll try to watch the whole series of whatever it is I'm watching. So, right now I'm watching the She-Ra Princesses of Power, the Netflix animated show that came out a couple years back. And this is probably my third time going through that one. What do I think of it? I think it's really good. Yeah, if you want to throw the woke word around, it would probably be considered woke for kind of how a lot of the characters are, how they got the characters going and different stuff. But it's an overall really, really good show with a good story and good character development and writing and all that kind of stuff. It's really good. It's just some people are scared of wokeness and all that stuff. So, but it's really good. That's what I'm on right now. Cartoons are good for your health. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It kind of breaks up all that serious business that we're in, and gives you something a little lighthearted and good to watch. But, well, anyway, guys, I've been going now for right at an hour, and I don't want to keep anyone any longer. I'm going to try and figure something else out to do today. I've already done a bike ride. You can check that video if you want. And I appreciate everybody that's popped in here. Like I always say, Marx Max Muscle, I really appreciate you because I do know, you're a bigger channel and, you got stuff you're always doing. You're always putting out a ton of videos and stuff. So I appreciate when you can drop by and, give me a minute. Yep, I mentioned DuckTales on my bicycle ride. That's funny you said that. Because I seen some ducks out in the pond and I started naming some ducks and I was like, I mentioned DuckTales and stuff. So anyway, DuckTales was awesome. That's still good. Everybody knows the song too. We all know the song. So, but anyway, I'm going to get off here and do my thing. Hey, Danny, I'm glad you're still here. I didn't know. So all of you guys hook up with each other. You're all good people, I believe. And let's spread good, positive content on the internet and take over the world. So, guys, thanks for being here. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff to the Body Beatdown. That's me, Michael. You're happy to be here, a host. Look at all them wonderful people in the chat. Don't forget, guys, get up, get out, get rad. Do it to it, and we'll see you next time on the Body Beatdown. See y'all later. Bye. Now, as we got to do, we have to awkwardly stop the streaming. Look at there, Max. Mark's Max Muscle, I got you a new subscriber. Mark's Max Muscle. You should mention me on your channel. Mention me. Get me some subscribers. I'm a good person. Come on. You can do it.